A Sandbox instance is a self-contained CRM Online application solely for non-production use. You use a Sandbox instance for a lot of different reasons. It could be testing a new change that you would want to roll out to production. It could be training. You may be done with your development work and you want to train a team on how to use that new feature that you've implemented. It could also be for upgrade testing. Before we roll out a new patch to the online service, you might want to try out that patch in your Sandbox instance, and that would help increase the stability of your production application. So large organizations may buy a Sandbox instance to give to their development teams so that they can develop in that Sandbox instance without doing that work in their production instance. In the past, people have done their development work in production and it's caused issues in their running application, and it could impact their day-to-day functionality. If a development team does it in a Sandbox instance, then it keeps them separate and isolated from the work going on in production. So the key benefit of admin mode is the ability to lock out non-system administrators or system customizers. This is primarily for their benefit because then a system administrator can make changes to the system without having to worry about a user of the system coming in and being affected by those changes. You want to make sure that you at least have one. Any sized organization could benefit from having a single Sandbox instance, which is one of the reasons why we do give you one for free if you have over 25 user licenses. But deciding how many production instances you have, how many Sandbox instances you'll need, depends on how many changes you're doing on a regular basis, how many teams you have working on those changes, and how much interaction happens between those different changes before they go into production. One may work for you with multiple teams if they're not interacting and the changes are mutually exclusive, but if they kind of play in the same area, then you might want to split them up into multiple Sandbox instances so they don't conflict. To purchase a Sandbox instance, you can go to the Microsoft Online portal and under your subscription add a non-production additional instance add-on, and each of those will add a single Sandbox instance to your subscription. After you purchase it, it will appear in the CRM Online Admin Center after a short period of time once it's been provisioned. For this demonstration, I'm going to show what a development team would do at the beginning of their process. The first thing they would do is make a copy of their production application and put it into their Sandbox development instance. So by clicking copy, you can then select the target instance. In this case, I'm going to select the development instance. You can select the copy type, full or minimal. In this case, I want to do a minimal copy because I don't need all of that production data that includes potential PII in that. And in fact, as the admin, I want to make sure that my development team does not have access to any of that data and that they would use sample test data when they're developing the application. I can change the friendly name, URL name, purpose, and instance security group, and in this case I don't need to do that. I'll just click copy. And the instance will return to a ready state once the copy process is complete. Once you're done making your customization changes that prepares your Sandbox instance for development work, you can then turn admin mode off, but you'll want to make sure that you're not going to impact your production instance. And that's why you will want to disable any access to external services.